All right. You had DCS topic, but not play night reports. Oh my god, that person. I just gotta open up my game so I can get it ready to go. I'm so excited to try this game out. Angry Gabe, thank you for the follow. Chat, if you're here for Don't Starve Together, I will be streaming more DSD later on today, but we are showcasing a brand new game that is coming out very soon. If you guys want to hang out with us on Discord, you can do so there. If you guys want to follow me on YouTube, you can do so there. I stream every day, twice a day. I was only streaming DSD for maybe about an hour or so. I just wanted to jump in, get the base started, and then switch over to this game. So here we go, getting ready with Fractured Veil. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to add the game, and I think I'm gonna do an overlay thing, that way you can see more of it. Just give me a second. Fractured window. Ooh, spicy. Gotta make sure that we turn this up. I gotta make sure that I find a good area for this. We're working hard to make the best survival MMO experience. That's pretty cool. It's gonna be like a survival MMO. To me, it looks like a survival game in general, but I guess MMO is, you know, because it's going to have 500 players in the server. I hope it's updated already. And we appreciate all your help and support, suggestions, bug reports. Special thanks to all of our beta testers who made this happen. Awesome. All right, we're in the game. Let's pull in Brandon here. And I'm going to change myself from push to talk to actively talking. Give me 1 second. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. I'm gonna turn you up just like a little bit. There we go. All right, all good. How's it going?
Oh, it's going really well. How about yourself?
Good, good. So, how many, like, I see like the version like on the bottom left corner of the screen. How many different versions have there been of the game? Like, how many different releases? Like, have you guys done like a lot of beta testing and stuff?
So for the last 2 years, the game has been in closed access. So a few testers are brought in every week, and new builds are pushed out sometimes, maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay, cool.
So it has gone through quite a bit of internal testing as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I kind of watched like a little bit of, because there was some stuff on YouTube about like showcasing the game a little bit, so I can kind of get to know it a little bit. So it's going to be, I was just talking about like before I got in here, it was, is a 500 player massive server? Is it going to be like one big server or multiple different servers, or kind of like East Coast,
So
Central kind of thing?
yeah, so it'll be 500 per server, multiple servers. That'll be kind of like different fractures. So the way that the servers are going to be distributed is the plan is to have each server kind of have like a specific thing kind of related specifically to that server. So different biomes, different features, different dungeons, stuff like that.
Ooh, you got me at the dungeons, by the way. So when I was, so every time I play like a game, even like Don't Starve Together, like one of my bigger games that I play, I'm always like, man, you got to have dungeons in here, like something that, because a lot of games, like when we play games like, you know, whatever we play, like other survival games or whatever, it's always good. Like for me, I like dungeons because you have that aspect of like going in and like losing and having to do it again and again and again. Are you guys having kind of like special rewards upon completing the dungeons, like special items and stuff that you get, or that you can only get in dungeons? Like, so is that kind of what it is?
So those are type of the future plans that we're having. Plus, we're also looking into having it to where it's not just server-based dungeons, but also instance. So
Ooh.
there will be the ability for you to kind of go in. You will be interacting with other players, but then there'll be instance ones where it's just your group. As for the type of stuff that you'd want to find in the dungeons, we're definitely looking into implementing stuff that's kind of dungeon specific. We kind of want the whole experience to be similar to like Diablo, where it's like you constantly want to run these dungeons over and over to get
Yeah.
really good loot.
Yeah, yeah. I like that a lot. Okay, that's really cool. Because that's what I was thinking. Like that's, I mean, stuff like that. I always find like with games, like when they implement stuff like that, it makes you not feel, not that you would ever get bored, you know what I mean? But it just kind of brings back like consistent, you know, challenges like built into the game that you're always like trying to like compete with it and like get better loot. And like, yeah, it reminds me of Diablo a lot for sure. All right, so let's go through the settings, I guess. Did you want to walk me through like the character customization and stuff?
Well, I was thinking for the character customizer, I was thinking you just kind of go with the flow kind of experience it as like kind of like a new player.
Okay.
Kind of go for the stuff that you'd like to see.
All right. Cool. Cool. Language English. That's all good. Full screen. I was just gonna think. Okay. So, for getting, does your game support like full 144 hertz plus kind of thing automatically, or does it have to have VSync enabled in order for that?
That is a good question. I'm not entirely sure. That is something you can definitely test for us, though.
Okay. I think I should be able to see like right away when I get in. It should be okay. Do you guys have a tab, like a button, like a tilde button to enable FPS like display in game at all?
Yeah. So if when you're going in as well, it should just be Alt F.
Okay. I'll do that then. Bloom effect, post processing, blah 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 blah. I'll leave all this stuff enabled. Of course, windowed full screen so I can tab out easily. Nice, I like that. Audio, of course, leave that normal. Controls, leave that all the same, and then UI. Is the UI going to change? Like, what are you guys going to be doing for the UI? Because right now it's just kind of
So
empty.
yeah, so for the UI, you're kind of seeing it almost complete. We did a huge UI overhaul last month, and there's still a few things that need to kind of drip in. So there will be an assortment of UI options that you'll be able to change once those get implemented.
Okay. One thing that like, I mean, I don't know if you, I'm sure you guys are looking into this anyways, is a some games have like what they call like a streamer spot basically for the camera. So like that is always like a kind of an interesting thing to have where you can have it enabled or disabled. So that way like it'll say like UI, and then you know how my camera is like on the bottom left corner sort of thing. It does kind of tell you where to put your camera, so that way you're not blocking any of like the in-game
Oh, that's
display.
a yeah, that is definitely a really good idea.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
just
something
make
that
a
I've
quick
seen in a
note of
few
that.
games, and it really changes like the way that, like for the streamer side of things, you're like, oh, this is awesome, because like you know that no matter what, the entire time that you're playing the game, it'll never overlap like on anything. Okay, so I'm just so I guess I'll just go select character. Ooh, okay. Here we go. Looks just like me. I like the little fanny pack. It's nice.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
All right, let's go ahead scan. It's kind of like I guess you know kind of 7 days ish where you kind of like can customize multiple different things. More
You'll
HD
notice
though.
as you're going in there as well, there's quite a few very specific options. We actually had a lot more, but we actually had like some role-playing communities come in and saying that there was too many options available, so we kind of dialed those back.
Oh yeah, make the eyes color nice.
Definitely looking into feedback from everyone specifically just to see what kind of options that might be missing that they might like.
Okay. I always like to have like a good amount of customization when it comes to stuff like this. Like anything limited and like yeah, I kind of agree. If you get too crazy with it, it can get a little bit hectic. But I think it's nice to have.
Yeah, because I know for people like me, if like when it comes to the character customizer, we can probably spend between 30 and 40 minutes just fine tuning our characters to look
Oh, for
exactly how
sure.
we want.
And also, like, if you're playing an MMO, people want their characters to look like very specific, right? Like they want to spend that half an hour making their characters look, you know, the way they do.
Yep, definitely.
Ooh, I like these hair types.
That's yeah, that's the thing we're trying to promote as well as like as much individuality as we can.
Mhm.
Basically, anytime there's anything that someone really wants to have implemented, we're really community driven in the sense that a lot of the stuff that's already been implemented has been suggested within our own Discord.
Yeah.
So it's something that we're always taking a look at. So even throughout the stream today, I'll be getting you to link the Discord just to have people kind of funnel in if they have any suggestions. That'll be definitely the best place to share them.
Okay. How do I get like brown or whatever hair? Is it just like RGB? I'm just looking to see like where the brown's at. Is it that looks kind of like brownish, I guess. Okay. All right. Oh, you can shoot. Oh, nice. Okay. Wait, there's different. Oh my god, that's awesome. Purple hair. Me. You want to make my hair purple, Serenity? I can do that. I
That's
shall.
usually the most popular one chosen
Yeah.
as well.
Do. Okay, hair type. All right, let's make it purple.
And for those wondering, because we kind of like just dove into the conversation real quick, I am Brandon. I am a community manager and also lead QA, a part of the project. And basically, what we'll be doing today is kind of just going through the normal game loop, just kind of experiencing it as like a fresh player, and then answering any questions that you guys definitely have.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions in chat, just shoot them up, and then I'll try to read chat and also focus and concentrate. You know me, like I'm okay at like multitasking, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best. All right, what name are we gonna choose? Let's choose. Chat, choose some names out of here. What should we name? I guess we can just do all fun. No. Need like a Hawaiian name. Okay, let's go with Jenny. Are you already in the game as well too? I don't know if you actually booted your game up. Here, name yourself Brandon. There we go. Character name is already taken. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, that's me.
oh, because we're connecting to the server with like 500 people. Well, that would make sense. All right, I'll just do all funny games. You're waiting to join in. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm ready to go. So when you connect, so when you go to get into a game, say I'm in like, so I know you said you're gonna make the server specific and they're gonna have special events on it. Say like one server has like one crazy event that's like really, really cool, and I'm like, I really want to switch to that server. Are you gonna make it where characters can switch servers or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Players will be able to travel in between servers once that's implemented. We
So
don't want to limit anyone in that way.
what happens if like I'm in Canada and your server is like in like Germany or something and I have really bad ping? Are you guys gonna have multiple servers in different areas, or is it gonna be all like US central like base servers?
So we are going to start with North America,
Mhm.
and then kind of branch out from there as things progress.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea because like I feel like generally like US East, US Central, US West is like, even if you're some far like, even if you're I think even when I used to play on like a lot of servers, I mean, as long as you have less than 100 ping or less, you're kind of okay. You're not gonna have too much lag. So, and I'm assuming we just do join in. These are our stats: kills, time played, humans eaten. Wait, humans eaten? What? Um, okay. So do I just click join game and then it automatically connects me into a server?
Yep.
Okay, let's do it. Hey, Snap, for showcasing Fractured Veil right now. So if you, it's kind of like 7 Days to Die, but in whole different things, MMO style. So like a ton of people. We're just getting into it right now.
We'll be showcasing literally probably a good majority of the mechanics that we have in place so far, and you'll see the inspiration that we have from other games as well as 7 Days to Die.
Awesome. I like that. Like I like when, I think it's always cool when you see games that kind of like take bits and pieces and put their own like spin on it to make it even better. Ooh, okay, let's get in here. Okay, so, oh no. So as soon as you connect in there, these are like, I'm assuming like pods that we get in.
So they're not interactable with right now, but that's essentially what their function will be.
Okay.
We're also implementing something so they're revival pods. So the room that you just spawned in, this whole area is called the Thorcon. So it's essentially a power plant.
Okay. Let me try something real quick. Your body's vulnerable while logged out. Log out somewhere safe. Oh, that's kind of cool. So no matter if you log out of the game, you kind of have to log in like inside of a town. Hey, Close, how's it going? Let me enable VSync real quick. I might also see if it changes anything. So it doesn't. Okay, so control. It was Alt F. You said for FPS.
Yeah.
Okay, Alt F. Sorry, or Alt F1.
Yeah, it should be Alt F. Yep, I see it on the right beside your minimap.
Oh, sorry, I see it there. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm trying to get like the full. So let's get a cinematic and go epic, and then turn off VSync. Okay. So maybe it's just because I'm inside this ship that it's not like, I mean, it is loading a lot of stuff, so it's possible that's why it's like that. But that's okay. I'll leave that on later on. So if you press Alt, I see that you kind of get like a third, you know, kind of like here, just
yeah,
like,
kind of like a swivel, kind of like free look going
nice. I like that. I like that. Okay. Wait, is
Also,
this?
if you press
It is quiet in front of
B,
me.
yep.
Oh, it kind of keeps you in third person specifically. I like that.
Yeah, if you press B, you'll actually go into third person.
Okay, so then when we're in here, is that you in front of us?
Yep, that's me.
Okay, nice. Oh, I guess this is where we go out. Okay. Left or right?
Either one. Each one will lead you to kind of the main room, and I'm gonna give you like a little tour.
Okay.
We didn't have these
Whoa.
arrows in actually originally, and people were getting like lost. I think at one point, someone during like one of the playtests spent like 45 minutes trying to get out and didn't let us know until like kind of last minute.
The graphics are like really eye pleasing. I like the colors and stuff. Press O anytime to equip or you're thirsty fry. Wait, press O to O or E? I didn't read that. It came up.
That was O. Yep.
So O to what does it do? Equip like a frying pan?
Yep. So that's kind of like the starter weapon because we didn't want you just punching trees or like punching rocks. We kind of wanted you to have something that doesn't have any durability loss that you can kind of just get up and running really quickly.
Oh, I think it's 0. Is it 0? Yeah, it's 0. Okay,
yep,
so
0,
so
yep.
1 through 0 is your weapon. Okay, that makes sense. It has like little feathers on it. I like that. Okay, and you also have primary attack and then alternate attack, which is more of like a strong attack, I'm guessing.
Yep. So I'm gonna get you into a party. That way, it just allows us to keep track of each other quicker.
Okay.
So if you want to open up the menu, a tab, and go to the party menu.
Yep.
You should see one. You should see an invitation from me.
Perfect. I got it. Yeah.
I think we'll also get your friend in here as well.
So one thing I was mentioning before we started, do you guys have an in-game soundtrack yet?
We do not currently. A lot of the plans with the Kickstarter are kind to get in that like initial push of a lot of that custom content.
Yeah.
As well as getting more engineers working on the project because it is quite a small team.
Yeah. It's nice though. You guys have, I think, I don't know, I haven't checked anything today, but like last I checked, you guys were almost over 50% of your goal too, which is nice.
Yep.
Is this PvP or PvE? I'm assuming it depends on the server. If you're doing a PvE server or PvP server, I would guess.
Well, with the way we're implementing it and the way it is now, currently it's both. As you notice in the top right underneath the compass, it'll say Zone 1 PvE.
Under the compass, I see. Sorry, where does it say that?
So the top of the screen in the middle, you'll see.
Oh,
Zone
yeah,
1
yeah.
PvE.
Okay.
Yep.
How's it going, Quirky? Okay, so should I just explore everywhere?
So follow me, we'll kind of just go through the initial thing. I'll introduce you to kind of like the initial like game loop.
Okay.
Just starting out kind of like a little bit of the progression, and then we'll move on to stuff like base building and mutant sieges.
So I see like on the bottom middle, it's fish for food, little water symbol for water, and then there's like something else for something. And
temperature.
Temperature, okay, and then lightning, like I'm assuming some sort of radiation poisoning, and then waves.
Yeah. So the lightning is shock. The radiation symbol is for poison. There are mutants in the game that do poison you.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is wetness. So you'll notice once you go into the water,
okay.
That one will go right up.
F to fill, F to drink water. Just press F to fill or hold F. What does fill do? Fill your water bottle?
Yes, say you have a canteen or a coconut canteen equipped.
Okay.
That'll get you up and running.
Is shift do something faster if you hold shift, or is it not?
You should, yeah.
Oh, there's deer underwater. Nice. They've adapted.
Yeah, they've definitely adapted.
Is there like fishing in the game at all? Oh, I guess we probably shouldn't get into that early, right? We can ask those questions later on. Drink all the water. Yeah. So what is this like?
Well, while we're here, we should definitely drink water because it's not as bad as other survival games, but you don't want to be caught without it.
Okay. So I also noticed that, okay, I like how you have to hold F in order to drink water. That's nice, instead of just like accidentally tabbing it and like walking up to it and pressing it real quick. So one thing was when you're running, you get winded. Do you have like, is there a stamina bar to indicate like when your stamina is running low, or?
So if you notice close to the middle of your screen, you'll notice like these two bars, one to the left and one to the right. It's kind of like contextual, where the clearer it is, the actually more in danger you are of like losing like full stamina and full health. So the left one is health and the right one is stamina.
Okay. Ooh, I like that. It's very like not in your face, but it kind of still, you know what I mean? Okay, so is there?
Yep.
So here's a question. So that's what I'm talking. I guess that's what you're talking about with the UI. You're gonna eventually change it to. Can people make that more like opaque rather than like kind of leave it in, or like is that gonna always be like that? Or can you position where it's at?
So we're looking into more options on what to expose to the player. We do want to keep things minimal, but as I was saying, is like the more feedback we get from players, that'll kind of drive what our decisions are.
Okay.
As for a certain degree, we're gonna keep things kind of like on how we want it, but
Yeah.
there is definitely room for improvement, especially when it comes to quality of life stuff.
Yeah. I mean that's like a not even a big thing. Okay, so before we zoom away, I'm noticing that this is somebody else's structure and it says permission denied. I mean, I'm guessing this is somebody's structure. Then if they are not in our party and I go to destroy it, nothing will happen because it's a PvE server.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. So you can't actually destroy it if you didn't even want to.
Yep. So
Nice.
that's actually a new thing that we had in, because there's a lot of people who kind of want to just be focused on PvE. And we know it's kind of like the division of survival games, where some people just want to PvP and some people just want to PvE. So there aren't specific PvE or PvP servers. We do have specific zones, and we're not going to be limiting the gameplay experience to just one thing. We're going to kind of allow players to kind of experience the game in the way they want to. So if you're PvE only, you'll be able to experience the game fully through PvE, the same way through PvP. But we are going to do things to incentivize PvE players to kind of get out of their comfort zone and kind of decide to PvP if there's like a type of reward that they might want to get.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I think like having the option there is really nice. And that way, if they want to get onto like a PvP zone and they want to just say, okay, I don't care if this gets destroyed or something like that, it's nice to have that option, you know. Probably should change my controls to like crouch with control. Is control anything right now? I don't think it is anything. I'm gonna change that real fast.
It shouldn't be, yeah.
Okay. There. Oh, still didn't change. Did I not do that right? Crouch.
I think actually left control won't allow you to bind it right now. I think I reported that bug earlier today.
Okay.
So that'll be looked into.
Saint Gaming, how's it going? We're showcasing Fractured Veil, a new survival game coming up. How's it going?
You probably noticed as well when you've crouched, your stamina regens a lot faster than it does just normally.
So I just killed the deer. Can you hack at it with the frying pan? Yes, you can.
You can, but it is not as efficient as the other tools. If you want to actually just go quickly into the crafting menu, you'll kind of be able to see what the progression is a bit.
It's crafting in tab, I'm guessing? Yes, it is. Okay, so basically tab is like your big like everything that you need kind of thing. Okay.
Yep. So you'll notice there's a quick craft in your inventory, but there's also a very specific screen for the crafting. So that'll give you a full list of everything you can craft that's specific to your inventory.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this shows everything specific to your inventory. So it shows you have like the 0 out of, okay. So cloth, and I'm assuming cloth's how you make
your backpack.
Yeah. And there's a queue time on that. Okay. Where does it show? Oh, it says iron. Okay, it's a little bit hard to see like the crafting requirement tools. But okay, so he pick on. Okay, that's nice. Okay. So I need twine and that, and then is there like a different utility other than what I just used? Machete. I need iron. And then a hand axe. I need iron as well too.
So those are the ones you're looking at are kind of the higher tier. If you look at the bottom, you'll see the stone pickaxe and stone hand axe.
Okay.
So we can kind of start with there. There should be some stone nodes up here.
I like how that you do start yourself out with a frying pan. I mean, out of anything else, like it's better than just like you said, punching just a rock for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And there will be eventually.
Dinosaurs.
We're working.
No,
no.
Dang. No. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Ride a raptor into town. Okay,
I can't confirm nor deny the existence of dinosaurs. Yeah, we definitely thought it would be a lot better to kind of have this than just, like I said, just punching or just using a rock against something. It didn't really seem the same to us.
Yeah. So when you use a different alternate tool, right now I'm using a frying pan. Does the frying pan have 0 durability? Is it always going to be
So
available?
It's got unlimited durability,
right.
So you'll never be able to break it.
Right. What happens if you start the game and you lose your frying pan?
It's impossible. You can't unequip it, and you can't
toss it away
with the frying pan. Yep.
Oh, so it's always in 0. Oh, I like that.
Always dedicated.
Nice.
To the 0 slot.
Good choice with that because, yeah, that's really good. Okay, I like that. So you always have it, and all right, that's good. That is actually really interesting. Okay. And sorry, yeah, when you use alternate tools like say I need to go after a smaller tree. So if you use another tool like another axe, I'm guessing we're going to be getting a lot more utility out of it, or sorry, a lot more resources out of it, right?
So right now, the way it's implemented is you actually harvest it faster.
Oh, okay.
You probably also noticed the flower appear while you're harvesting the tree.
So is it okay? The flower? Are you talking about the little red flower? That is, because when you first launched the game, I noticed a little red flower that shows up. Is that what I'm supposed to see?
So stop hitting the tree and kind of do like a 360 around it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this little flower. Yep.
So it's kind of similar to what like a mini game type thing, where if you hit that consecutively, it harvests the tree faster.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what game had like kind of a similar thing. Okay, that's cool. I like that. So kind of, that is really cool. It's like Rust. That's what it was. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. Another thing I was curious about. Is there any XP in this game? Like, is XP implemented in the game at all? I don't know if I've seen like an XP bar.
So it's not implemented right now. The player characteristics and stat system is being implemented. It's still being worked on, but that's something we'll definitely be including.
Cool. Have one of those. Oh, so it shows up in green and an indication of how many you can actually make if you want to make it. Okay,
yep.
That's really nice. And then the torch, I'll craft one of those too. I probably should stop crafting a bunch of stuff. And I can switch my inventory out if I want to.
Okay, would I be able to get one of your mods posting the Kickstarter? Because it does have a lot of condensed information on there that
for sure
kind of fill things in while we're just going through the game and kind of answering questions.
Yeah, actually, Serenity, if you can do me a favor, actually, Brandon, I was looking for I just got to get the link for it. I don't want to have to tab out. Let me see, actually, if I have the link. They get it from the shared group there. Kickstarter, copy link. Okay, let me do something real quick.
Yep.
There we go. I just made a new channel called Fractured Veil Discord.
I was thinking while we're here, I'll kind of get like a little just base going, just to kind of give you like a little area for us to kind of work out of.
Okay.
Just want to find a nice spot. I'm very, very specific on what kind of spots I wanna build a base.
So are you gonna have areas in the map where, say we're living, or say we're near like the swamp or something like that, or whatever, the certain different, you know, things might attack us, or is it depend? I mean, I guess we haven't really attacked anything yet, but is it dependent on like where you are in the area, like in the world?
So when it comes, are you referring to kind of like the mutant sieges and whether or not you'll get raided by mutants?
Yeah, like say if I'm kind of closer to, like what if I, for example, we passed that one base that was at the very beginning. Say if I base there, and then versus basing out in the wilderness, like somewhere like super far north, does the weather change and like offer different variants of like mutants and stuff?
So when it comes to north, the mutants are actually stronger. So there will be different areas where the mutants are a lot stronger or buffed than they
Okay.
would be closer to the like smaller zones.
Awesome. That's really cool. That's why I like. So I also noticed on the bottom right corner when I use this utility. Is it going down? I think it is. Okay, so the durability shows, and that's a little white bar. Now, are you offering for you like tools and stuff to be repaired, or do they just get destroyed and then that's that?
So right now, most of the tools and most of the items can be repaired within the inventory when you click on them. There is a plan for the repair bench to be fully implemented. We have the bench and the UI is just not in for it yet. So if you go to a higher quality tool, it'll allow you to recycle it that way instead of just using a repair bench.
How do I Oh, you double clicked it. Okay, so you can double click to put in. How do I repair my axe? Crafting?
So right now you can't repair. We have a repair bench in, but the UI for it's being implemented.
Oh, sorry, I like completely like
Yeah.
I was so focused in on what I was doing. I was like,
No
my
problem.
mind just like shut off for a second. That's okay. That's okay.
So right now, the kind of workaround to doing it is, depending on the item, you just recycle it. It gives you back the full amount of resources. That will be changed once the repair bench is fully implemented.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Once that is in, you'll have to use a currency called Rye to repair it.
So with water, is there? I guess I'm asking questions that we're probably gonna find out very soon. But say I'm not close to a body of water. Is there alternate ways of getting water, like food and stuff like that as well too?
So there are certain food items that you can find, whether you're harvesting tree and you find a coconut or bananas, or you're scavenging the houses that we have throughout the land that actually have soda, canned food. I think there's even an energy drink, chocolate bar, stuff like that. So there are items within the world that you can get
Okay.
to kind of alleviate that, but also you're able to build a structure called the water catcher.
Oh, and that's what I was gonna say something similar to that with like bamboo or something. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's something a little different. But anyways, yeah. Okay, that's cool. So because I was curious, because when I was hacking at the tree, I was like, I wonder if like something will drop from these, like if, but they can, so they can drop coconuts and all that. That's nice. Yeah, we're talking to the developer right now, Fruta, while we play the game as well at the same time too. He better help build a shelter. Yeah. So when I'm looking under crafting, I see arrows, bandages, etc., etc., etc. How do I make a? How do I? Is this? What is this? Is that a banana? Oh, it is a banana. So, okay, it shows up a bolt of leather. Okay, one banana, and it shows stack of 10 quantity. Does it show how much it will feed me if I eat it?
It doesn't yet. We are implementing kind of like tool tips or like stuff that'll be in your inventory, I think I can write that down as a suggestion to kind of have the certain amount that it does feed you.
Okay.
That way you can kind of keep track of both like the food and water values depending on the item.
Okay. And then are you gonna make it so certain items kind of decrease your your wetness, your thirst?
Your thirst?
No, yeah.
So I think the only item that we have right now that does it is our sham, which is like it's a Hawaiian style spam
Okay.
that you can loot throughout the world, and I believe that's the only one that does it right now. The food system and stuff like that is something kind of like future plans where we kind of want to do a little bit more than what we already have with it right now.
Okay. So this is the water catcher. That's really cool. It's kind of similar. It kind of reminds me of like the water catcher from Raft in a way, but that's really nice. I like that. Okay. So how do I make a structure like what you're making? Like where's the crafting for that? Do I have to make a crafting construction tool?
Yep.
Okay. I'll wait for that.
You'll also notice in the quick craft, you'll also have like the filter icons. So it'll be like weapons, tools, resources, clothing, medicine, consumables, ammo.
I don't know
So
what
if
I
you go
did.
to the tools one.
Oops, sorry. I don't know what I did, but how do I had like a little active pointer on there. Is that like a checkpoint or something? Oh, cool.
So it's kind of like a pinging system. If you hold down the middle mouse button, you'll get like a list that comes up.
Oh, nice. Okay, I was wondering how I was doing that. And do they eventually disappear? Okay, they do. That's nice.
Yep.
Okay, so I have my crafting tool, so I have that in my third inventory spot. And then, sorry, right click, foundations, thatch foundation, walls, thatch wall. Ooh, I like this.
So I'm glad that you'll be helping with this because usually everything I make kind of ends up like a box. I'm hoping we come up with something a little bit more intricate.
A little bit of thatch and just a door, and we're all set. Hey, Smacky, how's it going? And then how do we make the roofs?
So that one will be in 3-1, so like it'll be in the floors and stairs section.
Oh, and you also offer, Smacky, thank you so much for the follow. You also offer where you can press, oh, I like that a lot. So when you are going through your foundation list, you can press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and like quick draw, like quick select. I like, that's really nice. Yep. That's really awesome. Good job on that. Because that's actually something that annoys me is when you have like a list like this and there's not an option for a quick select, because sometimes you just get so used to it, it's just like you just want to have a quick key for it. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, it was,
I came from games like Ark and stuff like that where everything is built in your inventory or like within a smithy, and you kind of like place it, you get encumbered. It's very inefficient. So like when I was first dealing with this system, I was actually pretty slow, but now just because of the kind of like the numbers, but also like the location of stuff, I can build something really quick.
Yeah, it's really nice.
In comparison to what I could do before.
Okay, sorry, you said it was 3 and then roof, thatch floor.
Yep. So we are implementing roofs, like actual roofs, slanted roofs, stuff like that.
Okay.
That will be coming soon. For now, we just use the floors.
Hey, Soul. Yeah, we're showcasing a new game. I don't know if I have enough wood for this. I don't have enough wood for this.
I am going to put down a totem.
Okay.
If you guys want to just come here real quick, because we do need to add you guys to the totem. I think I might have to add you.
Question, does a totem make it so you respawn here, or is that a bed?
So that'll be a bed and a sleeping bag.
Ooh. You don't have permissions to build here. So, okay, so you have a group, you have a party, you make a totem, and then the totem makes it so inventory.
But the owner can set the permissions. So if you should be able to, I think you can access it.
So what is stopping, say we have a party of 10 players, right? And then we build this huge contraption, and one person in that party puts down a totem and doesn't allow any other people there.
So usually what it would be is like before you start building, you have the totem.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not protected. You'll also notice like if you come out here real quick, let me show you. You'll notice that there's an icon underneath the health that shows that it's not connected to a totem.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So like you'll want to make sure that when you are in a party and you are doing stuff within the totem that you kind of establish early on who has access to what.
I like that.
We'll be taking feedback and looking into more things that we can kind of put in just to prevent stuff like that from happening.
I'm guessing a totem is similar to a what's that called? Like, what am I thinking of? It's like a claim block. That kind of what we're yeah, awesome. All right.
Kind of like a claim block, or like in Rust where it's like a tool cupboard.
Yeah. Okay, so it offers not only permission, but you can also store stuff inside there as well too.
Yep. And what you store, you're able to store resources that you can use to build a base.
Yep.
So you just ran into the issue where we're crafting, we're building, and you're like, oh, well, I have no resources to build this wall. You can pile the resources into the totem and then build, and it'll pull the resources from the totem instead of having to be on your inventory.
What? What? That is actually a really, I like that a lot. That's really nice. So you don't even have to hold like 15,000 or 1,500 wood. You just put that in there, and then you walk around the area in order to build with your, and it doesn't pull from your inventory, it just pulls from here. How does it automatically choose to pull from? Wow, that is actually very cool. That's actually that's awesome. I like that a lot, because what's the vicinity? Like, how far does that go?
So so if you come here to the doorway and pull up your construction tool, you'll notice that there's like a kind of like claim line that goes around the totem.
Okay. Sorry.
So as long as it's within that range, you should be good.
Oh, no way. I didn't even know. What? That is, wow. And then so outside of that, it'll use my inventory within that. That is very, oh wow, that's really nice. It's I've never seen that in a game before. I mean, not that I know of anyways. That is
I
really
do know
cool.
that some mods have introduced it for some games, but I think we're the first to really put that in, as far as I'm aware, at least like from what I've played.
Awesome. All right, sorry, I didn't make a torch. How did we make a torch? Crafting. Not that it really matters, because there's already a lot of torches anyways. I would have needed some more wood. Oh, so you can just craft a torch with just wood. Okay. I get more later on.
Yep.
So at nighttime, Fernando, thank you for the follow. So at nighttime, do we offer like the chance of having more mutants come and attack us, or I guess how does, like, what is the scale of mutants depending on like how early we are in the game? Like, say we just started out, we're just building. Are we going to receive mutants attacking us like day one or something like that, or?
So with the way it currently works right now, with the size of our base being the way it is, we're not going to get into a mutant siege. Our base isn't really a threat or big enough for it to cause mutants to actually be attracted to it.
Okay.
Once you build up enough, and depending on the size of your base, it'll attract mutants, but also like the difficulty will increase based on the tier and size.
Okay, so I guess it depends on how far along you are leveling inside, like kind of like getting further inside the game, you know, what tier you are and stuff. Okay, that's nice. It kind of scales like along your scaling as well too. That's really cool. Irvi, Discord community leader. Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah, so Fernando is a community leader within our Discord, so he'll definitely be able to help out and answer any questions that we might miss.
Awesome.
Because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm building, I'm kind of like, it's kind of like tunnel vision.
Yeah, I usually am
Just
pretty
focused.
good. I usually am pretty good at responding to questions like while I'm like doing any type of game, doesn't really matter. But now that I'm trying to concentrate on like, you know, what you're saying and then what's going on in chat and then also what's going on in the game, I'm definitely gonna miss a few questions here and there. So it's nice. Feel free to enjoy the gameplay. Thank you, thank you. It's really bothering me. We're missing one torch here. We gotta put a little torch on the wall. Okay, so place it using. Nope, that's not how you place it. Right click.
So it's in your crafting thing because it's considered like a construction thing. So if you go to, it should be the 5th category and 8.
So I have a torch in my hand. How do I place it on the wall?
You need to equip your construction tool. So it's considered a construction object.
Oh, okay. And then miscellaneous torch. Oh,
Yep.
okay. All right, that makes sense. So then,
And then you have to highlight it and then
interact.
interact
Okay,
with it.
okay, cool,
Yep.
cool. So you can't take a regular torch. That makes sense. And like, yeah, all right, perfect. And you can hold this on your hand. Now, can you use a torch to attack with as well too?
Yes, you can, but
Oops, sorry.
because this is a PvE zone, you can't do damage to me.
Can you burn down? That's another thing I was going to ask you. Is there fire spread within the base at all, or no?
No.
Okay.
With the amount of calculations that cost for the server, it's just not something that
Yeah,
we're
that would
looking
honestly
into
probably
right now.
lag quite a bit as well too if somebody just decided to like torch a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, especially since thatch is like kind of like the base resource that you're kind of starting out with. Like, if it was a PvP zone, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So now that we've reached kind of like the basic of building, do we move into probably like making some sort of do we have to make a campfire next?
Yep.
Okay. So I have to get some stones. So I made a regular axe. Hand axe. Was there like a hand pickaxe? I need iron for that. Oh, there it is, a stone pickaxe. Okay, so I need more stone. At nighttime, I noticed like does it get like darker than this, or is this basically how dark it does get?
I think it's based on cloud coverage. I think it can get darker than this.
Okay. And then I see that I just wanted to test real quick. I see that if you use a stone axe on a rock, it's not a good idea because it's going to degrade very, very fast. Is that right? Okay.
It'll
good.
also tell you. It'll also tell you that it's not the tool to use.
Awesome. Now, does only... Oh, nope, the rocks have them as well, too. The little flowers.
Yep.
And also gives you more resources for hitting them on the dots as well, too.
It'll increase the amount that you harvest and make harvesting a lot quicker.
Is that a ukulele, or is that a violin noise for the flower?
Ukulele noise.
Nice. I like that. Okay, so now I can make the campfire. Wait, did Talzan ask the same question too? He did. Okay, so I got the campfire crafting. Cancel my other one. You just click on it to do that. Okay.
So while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna quickly run to the river and fill us some canteens.
Okay. So it needs wood in order to burn, obviously. What is this? What is this thing? So when you have your quick tab open for inventory, how do you view what the item is? Are you just planning on making it so like if you hover over the item, it'll tell you what it is? Kind of thing?
In the quick craft?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So that was it is something that's going to be implemented. It was suggested by another streamer. I think it's being worked on right now.
Okay.
Actually, so that'll definitely be in because I know a lot of people are running into issues where when you've never played the game, it's really hard for you to kind of know what an item is until you've played long enough. So that'll definitely be coming in soon.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's cool. So we got a little campfire in there. I'm assuming the campfire offers like for cooking different types of food and whatnot. So if I were to die right now and like die consistently, would there be any penalties for me dying like every 5 seconds? So say like instead of worrying about my hunger, I just said to myself, well, I'm just gonna go die, and then I revive, or I revive on the totem and then keep rinse and repeating. Is there any reason to worry about my
I believe uh, there's a partial penalty to your health. I know that we had one implemented, but we took it out during testing.
Okay.
I think the health thing is still something that occurs, but before we had it actually affect your weight and other stats, but with everyone with like some issues coming up during the builds, we decided to remove it for now. But
Okay.
there definitely will be either a limit put into how often you can spawn or a penalty for constantly spawning.
Okay. Weakness is still in, apparently, somebody was saying. Is weakness the thing?
So usually you'll die and then spawn, you'll get like a weakness buff.
Okay.
As I mentioned previously, it affected your weight, the amount of weight you can carry, but we've gotten rid of that for now. It's something
Okay.
that we'll be revisiting though.
Okay. Like I was thinking possibly it could be something like if you're only in a certain like say like the Stone Age or the beginner side of things and you die, once you finally step into like the next tier and then you die, then it might be good to kind of give more of a penalty to kind of give those players that are just starting out like a little bit of like leeway. That might be something, but it sounds to me like that you're already kind of planning on doing it. So I noticed when I went to make a torch, is there ever going to be a quick craft option where, say I'm going to place torches and I accidentally only want to place a few, and then I want to go back to making torches again, all I have to press is like one button to go back to my quick craft button, so I go immediately back to where I was before? Is that an option at all or no?
So within the construction tool you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we have plans for that, but you're actually the second person to suggest that.
Okay.
So I'll take a look at our suggestions channel to see whether or not that is in there. If it is, I'll definitely upvote that one as well because it does make things a lot easier.
Yeah. Instead of going back through the list. Now, also, apparently, for torches outside, how do I make one just like in the grass? Do I have to foundation in order to do that?
Like so right now we don't really have like a standing torch.
Okay. Okay.
So right here I dropped a canteen. Yep.
Thank you.
Dropped one for your. Well.
Okay. How did you make the canteen? What was the materials for making that? Is that listed in here? Let's see. Canteen was iron. Oh, how'd you make iron already?
I already had it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't start from the character creator.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense.
But I will show you, and I will get us a smelting thing up so that way you can check it out.
Okay. Okay, so we got our base all set up. Is there well, I guess I could probably look through the tools there. Let's see. Miscellaneous, large chests, small chest. Okay, there it is. The little chest down. And then rotation wise, okay, it looks like R is your rotation button to rotate front to back. Okay, there we go. Now, does the chest work the same way too? If you have stuff inside the chest, it'll pull from the chest within the vicinity of the totem, or only what's inside the totem? For crafting.
Currently it does not. I don't know if there's plans to change that in the future, but I do know that there's going to be stuff implemented with that for you to be able to do that within the totem.
How do you... Oh. Okay, how do you take only one item? Like, say, so if it's right click to do half stacks, how do you only choose one rock?
So
Auto
right
sort
now
out.
that's not fully implemented.
Okay.
If you go to your normal inventory, you'll notice there's like a quantity slider when you click on an item. So when you're not in the inventory of a totem.
Oh, okay. And then when you, oops, I think I just dropped him on the ground. Okay, so you take it and you go quantity. Okay. And then,
So that's partially implemented. Right now it doesn't drop the specific amount that you select, but
okay.
that'll be in soon because we're at the stage where it's like 90% of the UI implementation is complete.
Okay.
So there's still a few things like that that still need to be implemented fully.
Okay. All right. So we made the campfire. Now, when the game gets released, or when the game is, are you guys planning on having like more of a tutorial system? Like, okay, it's time to go ahead and get yourself like some shelter situation. Is that planned or not really?
Yeah, so if you noticed on the right side, there's kind of like the gather stone. There's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like there's going to be the introductory type quests like that. That just kind of lead the player along a bit without being too handholdy.
Right.
But it's something we'll be definitely evaluating while we're playing. While we're developing, just to kind of see what works well for the user.
Okay. That's why I wanted to see what it looked like when I hit you again. What is a
Yeah,
ray? Is that like a coin or something?
So that's the currency. So you can get that from either completing quests. You can get it from killing mutants. You can get it from loot containers throughout the world, as well as within dungeons.
Okay. That says craft just okay, so there is actually kind of a mini thing that I didn't really follow along on the right hand side. I probably should have done that.
Yep.
Now it's telling me to craft an axe. Okay. And then once I do that, I'm sure it's probably going to tell me to make a little house and then so on and so on. I guess we'll find out what it says here. Oh, it says quest complete. Oh, and then when you complete the quest, you... Oh, okay. So now that I did that, stone pickaxe. I was actually planning on making, but did I just use all my... Oh, I need to get wood now. Okay. I guess I could just... Hold on. Can I craft... So, okay, so you can only craft structures with the totem around. You can't craft items in your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. So
there is a crafting bench, which I'm pretty sure the way it's implemented now allows you to pull from the totem.
Okay.
But we don't have a crafting bench right now.
Okay, so now I got another... So gather 100 fiber. I have fiber, though. I wonder if I, like, drop it on the ground. If I drop it on the ground, and then I pick it back up, will that count as craft it? Yes, it does. Craft twine. Okay. Does it say craft 50? Yes, it does. So I like that you can quickly... Say you already grabbed a bunch and I want to do the beginning tutorial. I could just grab what you have in your inventory, and then it counts towards the... It counts towards, like, the little quest. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so... There's a little... Oop. Okay, so craft a homemade bow. So it's basically going through just, like, the...
Yep, like the beginner kind of progression thing,
Yeah.
the kind of stuff that you kind of need to get yourself going.
So the quick craft, does that tell you what you currently can make right now? Or is that just...
Yep, so
okay.
it's based on what you have in your inventory.
Nice.
So that way it's kind of not cluttered. It also allows you to kind of filter or sort through certain things.
I see that as well,
that
too.
That way you don't need to.
That's really cool. I see where my character says intelligence 17, endurance 17, agility, strength, talents, quests, talent tree. Is that under?
So those are being worked on
okay.
as well. So those will be something that you will have to pay attention to.
Awesome. So like every character, I guess it's like I said, it's an MMO, so every character is going to be somewhat different. That's nice. I like that a lot. I assume it's going to want me to craft some arrows after this.
Just kind of expanding our base for when we get to the point where we get to a siege. We should be good for now, though.
Okay.
I'll let you go through the kind of like little progression.
Awesome. My bow is still being made. If you log out, can you be looted or raided while you log out? Apparently you can die. I don't know if you can be looted, but I think you can die. From when we went to the intro, it said make sure you log out in a safe spot.
Yeah, so with the way it's implemented right now, you can get looted while you're in the safe zone, even though it is PvE. There are going to be changes to that system though, and I believe we're also looking into making it so that once you log off in like the safe zone in the PvE area, your body disappears. I don't know if you've heard of Atlas, but apparently a lot of issues were arising when the game first released where characters were logging in and kind of all the sleeping, lifeless, or unconscious bodies were kind of just sitting there clogging up the resources of that area.
Yeah. I do like that you can get looted. I think being able to get looted inside of a game is really nice. Like not from like a another player per se, but like the enemy is awesome because the further I find like in some games that we play, especially like there comes to a point where you almost kind of have everything, right? And then you're like, oh, now I have everything. There's nothing to do. You know what I mean? You're just kind of fending off like every wave that attacks you, and then eventually it's like, okay, well, now what do we do, right? So it's nice that you can actually get looted. I think that's really cool. So let's craft cloth. Now it says craft 2 cloth on your quick craft. Is there a way to increase that to like 10 or 20, or is it just basically just what you can do, only craft 2 at a time?
So what you'd have to do is you just have to hit it once or twice depending on how much you want to do it. But
Yeah.
if you want a very specific, it needs to be done in the crafting menu. Though we could probably add something, so if you right click it, maybe do it by quantity.
Yeah, like I mean that way I can just be like, okay, I need 10 of these or something like that, or like click, because if you click it once, it's a quick craft, which is under your quick craft. But if you right click, then I could right click and maybe interact with like if you right click, you move your quick craft up and down. It looks like. Okay, that's really cool. So then, yeah, so if you right click on it, for example, or hold control, then I can do like a little slider to see how many I would want. I don't know, something like that would be really interesting.
We'll definitely be revisiting kind of those quality of life things to kind of make the experience a lot easier for people.
Okay, so now I'm at craft a backpack. I can't do because I need cloth and twine.
House is looking pretty good.
It does look really nice. So when it comes to the music that you're gonna be adding into the game, because like I always say, music is sets the atmosphere for like a lot of different things. Are you gonna go with kind of like a continuous Minecraft vibe like track that kind of plays in the background that kind of can go like kind of continuously like loops kind of thing, or are you looking for more like have you guys like thought about that at all for like the audio soundtrack?
I'm not entirely sure where we're at on that. Isn't really my department, but I do know that it's something we are looking into, and it's something that is gonna probably take hold as kind of like the Kickstarter and development progresses.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, I actually, it was weird because when we were just talking about, I gotta get Thatch. When we were just talking about it earlier, like when I was just doing my others, when I was playing Don't Starve Together before I was doing this, I was mentioning how, like, certain games like Minecraft, for example, it's really nice to have that background music that, people can listen to on stream that just kind of like flows really, really well versus like an in-game soundtrack that doesn't really like mend well. Then it's just, I don't know, it's just nicer, I find. So that's cool that you guys are kind of like thinking about a nice game music. I mean, I like the atmosphere of music right now. It's nice.
Yeah, because I know people like the ambient noise, but I know that sometimes there's stuff in games that are playing in the background, and sometimes you don't even realize they're there until someone kind of points them out. An example is we're kind of having a discussion about that with Russ, where apparently there are situations where there is stuff going on where there's kind of like that little backtrack going on. Same thing with Ark is when you're in danger or something changes in the environment, you'll hear that kind of going off. It's not like really taking like a hold of like the audio, but it's something that's nice and subtle and kind of fits with the game.
So if I'm thinking correctly, like basically I'm over here, I'm, listening to your nice music that you added into the game, and it's like nice and soothing. All of a sudden, like I'm getting attacked by a mutant, and now the game audio or the game music shifts down to like a lower like volume, and then you hear more of like the music of them like coming to attack you, sort of thing, or like the noise of like them coming to attack you. Is that kind of what you're thinking of? Like an ambient noise shift?
Yeah, kind of like something playing in the background, situational, depending on what's going on, either in the environment or, as you said, kind of like with a siege going on.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So that way, I think that's kind of really nice. That way, I don't have like the in-game music blaring. I'm like, I love this music, and then, I'm getting attacked by like a snake or something. Then I'm able to kind of hear that noise coming from somewhere else. Like that's actually one of the flaws that I find in one of the games that I play right now is I'll be listening to in-game music or music in general or whatever, and then all of a sudden like a bunch of hounds are like attacking me, and I'm like, wait, where did those come from? And I'm like, oh, I didn't hear them. Like it happens all the time. Not that it annoys me at all because I'm like so used to it now, but it's definitely nice to have that like kind of volume shift automatically without me having to like do it myself. So that's really cool.
No, I agree completely. I think it's something that'll definitely change the tone of like the game as well, where it kind of makes it a little bit more immersive.
Yeah, for
than just having nothing, right?
So now it says craft a canteen, and the canteen makes you need to make iron. So okay, so how do we make iron? So is there a way to like, does it tell you where to make iron at, or do I probably have to look at my, let's see, go to my crafting
So
tool.
if you go to the crafting thing, you'll see a smelter. I think as we go through, like you're noticing, like there's the quest type thing. I'm thinking what would like in the future is we'll kind of add a little bit more information and kind of where to find out that type of stuff.
Okay.
That is within that system instead of just having to kind of look for it yourself. That would just make it a little bit easier.
You know what these like quick numbers remind me of? They remind me of Counter-Strike when I used to like buy my items in Counter-Strike like really, really fast. I like that. I think that's really cool. I still like that a lot. I don't know, it's such a weird feature that you added that really makes a huge thing. Okay, sorry. Where's the... We got like sidetracked here with all these... Okay, so I got door lock, window bars. So where's the smelter at?
So the smelter is actually a craftable, so that'll be in your crafting inventory.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm looking in my tool thing. Research thing, smelter. Okay, so I need stone and twine. To make that. Did you already make one? Sorry, I didn't know if you ended up making one.
I'm coming back. I just need some stone, then I'll pop one down.
Okay. Can you attack with your crafting tool, or is that will that degrade it, or does that do anything?
I think you can, but I don't know exactly how much damage it does. Before we just had it so that it was kind of specific to only like say this. Okay, so the system we had before is like when you're placing down a thing, it would put it to full health.
Yeah.
With the way it is now, after the change, you actually have to repair it to full in order to upgrade it. So that adds that animation of you being able to swing it. I haven't tried to kill anything with it because it doesn't seem to be doing much of a damage to enemies or people, but we're also in a PvE zone, so I can't just try to keep whacking you with it. And it wouldn't do anything to you. Yeah.
I also noticed that you can throw your axes and stuff, which is really cool.
Yep. You could also throw food items as well.
Benny, my axe is stuck on you. Hold on a second. Oop. Thank you. There you go. I had to test that out.
So I do have a smelter up. Unfortunately, the area that we built in doesn't have that many iron nodes. I think we passed one the other way. I see sulfur nodes over there.
Sorry, did you say that you crafted the smelter, or you still need us to...
So I crafted a smelter. We just need to look for the... Oh, here it is. So if you want to come with me, I'll show you what the iron nodes look like.
Okay. On the map... And okay, so I can see you guys on the map and stuff. Instead of the large arrows, are you guys gonna alternate into like more of a different indicator on the map at all, or no? His arrows kind of like I know for me, even like a smaller dot would be kind of easier to kind of like look at, because the problem with like the large translucent arrow, or sorry, the arrows that have kind of like an outline, is that you don't really know where the player's kind of like sitting at. Like right now, I wouldn't know if Jenny's like behind me or in front of me, or like really far behind me, because it looks like her arrow is kind of like a little bit close. That's not that it matters. I mean, that's kind of like such a minuscule thing.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I mean, that's something we can definitely explore. I don't know if there's very specific plans for that to be changed, but it's definitely something we can take a look at.
If you zoom in on the map on, okay, so there's M and then you zoom out of the map. Is there a way to zoom out of the map on your smaller map?
Mini-map?
Yeah.
Yep, so if you hold control
Okay.
and mouse wheel in or out,
Nice.
you should be able to zoom in and out.
Good. Okay. So I also see there's a triangle that indicates like is that the starting spawn point? I guess if I hover over to tell me, well, maybe not. I'm assuming
So it doesn't, there is no tooltip for that specific thing, but that is the starting area, correct?
Okay. And then there's also other areas up here. Are you guys adding like Fog of War at all on the map?
I don't think there's a Fog of War plan, but there has been a lot of people that have been suggesting it. So it'll definitely be something we will look at and decide kind of based on that.
Because I do see like we can kind of just go to the other settlement like instantaneously, right? Because we know where it's at. I guess are all maps pre-gen? Like we know where they're at guaranteed? Or I guess this is like more of a test map anyways, so.
Yeah, so what's implemented on this map right now is not really the final. With the Kickstarter and the development going further, a lot of more custom stuff, because what you're seeing now, a good amount of it's just procedural.
Right.
Aside from some of the monuments that are in the area. So there's definitely going to be more love and care brought in once things continue, and there'll be a lot more variations. And as I was saying earlier, where it's like each different server, there's plans on having it so that there's very specific biomes. So on one server that you're on, or one fracture, it'll be what you're seeing now. Another one might be maybe there's more water, maybe there's snow, maybe there's some cataclysmic event here, maybe a volcano, stuff like that will be features of other stuff, and kind of allow you to go to a different server to kind of experience that, instead of just it being as simple as like, oh, you want snow, go north, you want swamps, go bottom, like go southeast, right?
Okay, I think that's nice. Yeah, I was just kind of curious, like more about the map, just because it's always nice to have Fog of War. That way you don't know where you're going, but like you said, it's something that you might look into in the future anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's been suggested quite a bit, so it's definitely something that's on our radar.
Nice. So why were we finding those rocks? Were there like anything specific? Just finding rocks in general?
So that specific one's an iron rock. That's typically where you'd see it. If you've noticed, it's not the same color as the normal rocks.
You want to know what the thing in the middle of my screen reminds me of? GoldenEye, the little overlay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I know it reminds me of something, but it's GoldenEye. Okay. Yeah, so Fernando, I was actually, or sorry, Fernando, we were talking about how I couldn't actually change it to E, but I think you were saying something like you're planning on changing it, or sorry, not C, like left control. But
left control, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like implemented yet, but.
See, that's one key that for some reason, I don't know if it's reserved within the engine or what, but it wasn't allowing people to bind it, but that'll be fixed. It's something that I was looking at earlier.
Okay. So you can't burn. I was just kind of testing. You can't burn when you're like laying on the fire.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we got the add resources. Is that what you just took, the copper? Is that what you have in there for the resources?
So that's iron. I added that in. That's what I got from harvesting.
Oh yeah, I got 5
iron ore. Yep. And then you have to put in wood
Fire.
as the fuel source. Yep.
Okay, and then from there, okay. Does it tell you? So right now we have unsmelted iron inside there, and it's just okay. So I guess you're just automatically going, okay, it's 3 times the number of whatever we put in there. So 75, is that what we're expecting to get out of it? So I was just kind of curious if the iron will tell you how much you get out of it from what you've put in. Or wait, maybe that's incorrect.
So the amount that you put in will be the amount that goes in currently.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There have been some suggestions to actually have it so that it tells you exactly how many. So if you had multiple stacks or multiple stuff, it would give you an indication on the bottom or indication somewhere on how many will be crafted, like a total type thing.
Okay, so I'm assuming I can take the wood out here and replace it with charcoal in there. No, you can't do that. Maybe you need charcoal for something different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, because the one confusing part for me was that when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, wait, because it looked like it was crafting 3, but what it was doing, it was smelting 3 at a time, which was nice because the smelter was like fairly quick. Okay, that makes sense. For some of the sprites that you guys use for, you know, different items, are they going to be changed? Like these are kind of just like placeholders right now until a more like HD looking backpack comes in, kind of thing, or are these kind of?
Yeah, so as things progress and items change, different custom things come in, icons will be changing as well. Plus, as I mentioned, the tooltips when you're hovering over stuff will be implemented as well, because you'll notice it is when you're going into the crafting menu, but when you're viewing your inventory, it doesn't show it.
Right.
So we're going to be adding that in just to kind of make things a lot clearer.
Okay.
Because I know there have been a few issues where people are like, well, as a new player, I don't really know what this is.
Yeah.
And if I'm in my inventory, they're kind of expecting to be able to like know what it is very quickly. And not something
yeah, like an easy way of doing it. I mean, if you're going to keep the sprites that you have, would just be a quick hover, like hover over, and like it shows like a little picture of whatever it is, obviously. Because for example, like I was looking at arrows, and I'm like, oh wait, like these are. I didn't actually know that I had like they were very tiny to see. But if you're like I said, these are just placeholders for now, so that doesn't really matter. Because comparatively, like the game looks very like clean cut and everything looks awesome. And then just obviously, I'm sure these will eventually reflect down the road.
Yep. Actually, the funny thing is the arrow thing is actually already changed on our end, but just hasn't hit production yet. Yeah.
So there we go. So right click to, or so it's right click to go like that, and then left click to let go. Okay. See like a wall here. Concrete barrier. E to recycle item. Bold E to recycle item. So
there's like there's a bug right now where you're not able to do that unless you kind of like tab in and tab back out.
Okay.
That's being fixed, but also I'm pretty sure you're only able to recycle barriers that you've placed or that are within your totem. So if someone places something like that within their totem and you go into their totemed area and try to pick it up, it won't let you.
Is there going to be like I'm noticing when you're aiming down for the arrow a kind of like a middle dot just to kind of know exactly where you're aiming at? I'm noticing like there's not really like a crosshair.
There's been suggestions for that, but I'm not entirely sure what direction we'll be going with that. But it has been suggested.
Do like animals and deer and whatnot, do they generally like run away if they hear like noise, or is it how does that work for that? Like for example, if I run up to this deer right now, is it run away from noise or just from distance? The deer.
I believe it's both.
Okay,
or at
nice.
least I think they're functioning to where that happens, or if you hit something in a certain area of it.
Okay. Yeah, so we're looking for a little more iron. We got 25 right now. So do you have to, generally speaking, do I have to go through the tutorial in order to move on to the... Okay, so this deer probably is bugged, I'm guessing, or something.
Yeah, there's been a few issues with the deer lately, but...
Okay. Do I have to... Can I find iron through, like, regular rocks as well, too? Or no? Or is it only through the
No.
ones that we found? Okay.
So that specific thing has it. You can also, so say you were in the world, you were scavenging certain items that are made of iron, you can recycle them to get iron as well.
So I'm looking on the map right now, and I see kind of like a lighter gray color. Is that kind of like an iron deposit, or is that another area, something different?
That's just like the area. It's like the tint kind of like um, color change within the actual map thing itself.
Okay. So hold on, where am I going to? So now I see a bunch more of these triangles. Like, I didn't see them before. Is this more of like another safe zone? Because it's a road or something? I ran pretty far away.
So the area that we're in itself is generally a safe zone until I think you get to, if you look, I think it's like at the beginning of longitude and latitude, like the 5-5 grid.
Okay.
So once you're getting close to the other icon to the north of us, which is actually a communication tower, that's when it starts to go into PvP zone.
Okay. Is there a way to remove... So when you're running, is there a way to remove the bobble effect when you're running?
Yeah, so if you go into your settings, it should be under
Head
the
bob.
gameplay
Perfect.
tab.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't get motion stick very well, but that was it's good to have that option for sure. Travis hit the red barrel. There was a red barrel back there. I didn't even see it. Are any of these cars... Ooh, there's a bird. Is that a bird? It's a chicken. I killed it. I'm just looking for more... iron out here, but I don't see any.
So if you come back to where our base is, there is actually an area across the river that has a few spawns, unless someone got to it.
Okay.
Also, yeah, you need to, if you go to your inventory, I don't think you equipped your backpack yet. If you double click it, it should.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so now... So with the backpack, does it allow more... It allows more storage, but also reduces your stamina loss from running and stuff, or no?
No. So
Okay.
there isn't anything specific to weight yet on it. That could change. Right now it's just slot based.
Okay.
I think you need to get some water too.
Yeah, I'm definitely running low on water right now. Attacking away at this deer.
So I'm gonna upgrade. I think we should upgrade our base a little bit. Then I can kind of show you kind of the siege system.
Okay.
Because we are at a point where we would start to attract mutants.
Nice. Well, I have 10 arrows, so I'm ready to go. Just kidding. So how far does the tier system go down? Do you start at like arrows, and then you get to making crafting ammo and etc 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 etc, or oh, there's a wait, is this, oh, it's a rock. I guess you don't want to spoil it until we get to it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll run you through kind of the thing where we're gonna do like a siege with kind of like the kind of just like bare necessities type thing.
Okay.
Just so you can see what it is, because it is a base siege. It's not nothing too hard. But as things progress, your base progresses, your base gets bigger. You are going to be encountering higher difficulty sieges where there's more variety in what spawns, but also the difficulty of the mutants and the amount of AI that spawns within the waves will be bigger.
Okay. So I already have 5 canteens. So every time you make a canteen, you still have to go back there and refill them. It says canteen 0 milliliters. I'm assuming that's probably not accurate. Because it says like the number on the bottom right corner says like 5. So that tells me that I have 5 canteens. Are canteens reusable, or do you only craft canteens and they automatically come with water?
So they don't automatically come with water. You have to fill them.
Okay.
They have 5 uses.
Oh, 5 uses. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So probably guess one thing that would be pretty cool is instead of the number 5 might indicate like like I said, I was a little bit confused. Would be like on the bottom right corner of the canteen, like having like the circle, I guess, kind of, you know, go into 5 sections, kind of like a piece of a pie. You know what I mean? So like you have like the first, and then it kind of deteriorates that way. So that way you kind of know that it's empty. Or you can even have like a interactive like water level of the canteen kind of depreciate over time as well too. But I mean, like obviously that's stuff that I'm sure you're just gonna do later on. That's my input on it.
I mean, that's the thing, is we're trying to get as much feedback as possible. So stuff like that is important even early on, because it is something that we kind of want to have a reference to once that gets visited.
Let me put some stuff in here that I don't really keep on me. Okay, you gotta get this canteen inventory. Did I make 2 axes? Yes, I did. Is there a way to quickly... Oh, okay. So, oh, wait a minute. Is this like a hotkey? Oh, it is. Wow. That's nice. So you can queue up and click on stuff. That's nice.
Yep, the transfer, yep.
Yep. So it like queues what you're doing. That's interesting.
Actually, also is another thing that you'll notice too. When you press tab to open up your inventory, you'll notice that there's chests on the bottom.
Of your inventory?
Yep, so go to your inventory at the bottom right, it'll say loot. You'll see loot icons, so you'll see the bag, which is like the ground loot, and then you'll see like the chest tabs. If you click them, it'll open them up so you'll be able to access them. So if you're in front of multiple chests, you'll be able to kind of filter those and deposit stuff into those chests.
Without opening them?
Without opening them directly.
Wow. So you can just like, as long as you're in the vicinity of them, you can just easily just... Wow.
Yep. And then example is like right click on one of the chests.
Tools, ammo, and you can still do that as well too.
And you can kind of set the icon to indicate what it is.
Oh, these are okay. Sorry, I was like drawing it, like my brain shut off once again. So this is the one chest, this is the other chest. Okay, because I've seen like the number 7 and I was like, wait a minute, what does that mean? Okay, so I see what you're saying. Okay, that's awesome. So then I can go, oh wow. So okay, that's cool. So I can be like, hey, oh wow, that's really, oh nice. Travis always makes me organize his chest. I do. And most game and it's very odd, but in a lot of games, you know, it's very annoying having to open up like 75 chests in a row just to access like, you know, mostly rocks or something like that, right? So it's nice to actually have this, and you can quickly... So what is the loot, just out of curiosity? What's around you?
Yeah, so it's what's around you. I can't remember the exact range, but it's pretty large.
You can drag a chest on top of the other one to place all the contents inside of that as well too. Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
And there have been suggestions to be able to name the chest, kind of like what you'd have in Ark, stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow, that's really cool.
That'll be something we definitely look into. I know Ryan, our project director, is really good with coming up with ways to kind of make things a lot more efficient.
How are you upgrading all the walls? Is there like an upgrade tool?
Yep, so if you go into your inventory, there's an upgrade tool, and you right click to select what material you want to upgrade it to.
Upgrade tool, where's that at? Oh, upgrade, it's literally called an upgrade tool, okay. Okay, let's go downstairs and make some meat. So, where does that meat go? So once again, I should be able to access my chest. So, how close do you have to... So I guess you have to be somewhat close-ish to the chest in order to access them. Like, what's the vicinity once again?
I don't know the exact units for it, but...
It looks like if I'm over here... So you have to be about almost like like a
within a foundation.
yeah, foundation away.
Way. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're in like a room with a bunch of chests, it might be a little bit tough, but still pretty good. It's better than anything else I've seen. Okay, so now we got some charcoal meat. And then while you're in there, quantity, right click is eating. Nope. I don't know what I just did. Oh, I dropped on the ground. Okay. So can you eat the item within your inventory, or do you have to place it in your hand in order to eat it? Like from what I've seen. So right click automatically drops it.
I think there's a...
Yeah, you need to place it on the slot, yeah.
Yeah, you need to place it on the slot, but there's also a context menu. I don't know. It's one of the side mouse buttons. It's still being worked on. I can't remember which one it is, but the option to be able to do it in your inventory is definitely coming.
Are you making it so the food slowly rots over time, or are you just not going to bother with that at all?
I believe the plan is to have it so that it does spoil.
Okay.
I know there are plans to do a lot more with the food system as the game progresses. Characters out of stamina.
Oh, so as soon as you select wood, it auto... Okay. Hmm. Do I not have enough wood? Oh, I do have enough wood. Okay. How high up can it... to be kind of near it? So say I'm making like a gigantic foundation and I have the walls and everything placed. Do I have to have a way? I guess you have to jump in order to access them. Like say this was like 5 stories high and I had made like an outside wall accessible. I guess I'd have to jump in order to get to it.
Either jump or kind of have scaffolding, but I believe if you do it in first person, there is like a slight issue between first person and third person, where third person you can't access it as far.
Okay.
That's something that's being people are taking a look at it, so that'll be fixed as well.
How much wood does it use in order to upgrade what we were just upgrading, like the thatch and whatnot?
It should tell you on the right side. I think it's is it 15?
So it wasn't much then, because I thought I didn't see that it was going down. Maybe it was using something else instead. Okay, wow, that looks a lot nicer. So I like how as you upgrade, like different designs get put onto the walls and stuff. That's really cool. Materials is taken from the totems first, but oh, that's why, because it was taken from the totems. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I forgot about that because I was looking at my inventory, going like, I don't see anything going down, but that makes sense now. Are you guys?
If there wasn't anything in there, it would tell you.
Right. Are you planning on making a like say if we did have this like a 5-story, 6-story, 7-story building to make like kind of like a quick scaffolding by any chance?
Kind of like a
Minecraft situation.
Building blueprint.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. Like say if I have we have I'm missing one spot at the very top and I can't jump, and the only option, because if you think about it, right, on the outside, the way you've built the walls right now, I don't know if can you access them on the inside. I don't know. These ones you can because you had stairs going up, but the other way you couldn't. Maybe like a quick ladder or something to just like, are there ladders in the game at all right now? So I guess I probably should ask that first.
So there aren't ladders. There's plans to increase the amount of items for stuff like that. So there will be stuff that kind of utility construction pieces.
So that's good then, because if you build like a ladder, then I can easily just access like upgrading it. That's perfect. Okay, no problem then. Okay, cool. So now we're on that. You can build like foundations with a stair and then recycle this afterwards. Okay. Yeah, that actually makes sense. I guess it depends on how high up you want to make it go. Like most people are probably not going to make like you never know though. I mean, people are pretty creative. It's hard to say.
Yeah, with thatch though, you should be able to make a good amount of scaffolding.
Yeah.
And since if you recycle the piece, because if you have your construction tool or recycle tool, upgrade tool, equipped, you can recycle the piece for the full amount. Right now, it's currently implemented so that you can't recycle something that someone else placed, but that's being changed.
Is there a way in the future to make hotkeys, not necessarily like ones that you can adjust yourself, but say I'm running around and I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to have my repair tool out. Okay, you press R and your repair tool goes into your hand automatically instead of me having to scroll through my scroll wheel. I guess it's the same as doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. But like, so for example, I guess like one, because right now I guess you just kind of have to know what's in your inventory. That's not a huge problem. Yeah, it's not a huge problem. I think just for me, like if I were to be able to press like R for repair tool, like B for, well, B zooms in, but like just R for repair tool and then F for like crafting tool or something like that, that'd be like pretty easy to switch between the both of them, just to kind of quick switch. But that, like I said, that's kind of just whatever. I was just kind of thinking about it. Like an add-on utility that might be pretty interesting if you're trying to like build and focus on building and just upgrading. Okay,
I mean,
so
it definitely could be a suggestion.
yeah, for sure. It's a matter of like time to get like acquainted. yeah. I think this what you guys have going on right now, I'm fine with. This is like basically how every game is, right? It has like your little hotbar in the bottom. I think it's for me that with not seeing the like what utility is on my like for example, like most utility would be on the bottom where the fish, like your food, your hunger bar, and all that stuff is listed. So because I can't see that, I'm like, okay, sorry, is it where's my pickaxe? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I have to press scroll in order to see that, which is not a huge problem, but time saver wise, like would there ever be an option to have that appear at the bottom, or is that part of the UI function down the road?
I mean, that's something we can definitely explore, because I do know that there have been quite a few people that don't like the system where it's like you need to scroll your mouse bar or press the numbers to see your action bar. So we'll definitely be taking stuff like that into consideration and see if we can come up with something that works for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like what you have right now, but I think even having that ability to either say enable hotbar or disable hotbar or something like that, and then that way it's like either shows or doesn't show. Because some people like it, some people don't. Like it looks very clean cut right now, like the overlay that you have going on. But like sometimes it might be nice to just have like that there.
Mm-hmm. So if you two can come back, I do want to get you guys some sleeping bags going. So
perfect.
I crafted them, so I'll get you guys, because I don't want to have us kind of like come back and.
Hey Delish, we're playing we're playing Fractured Veil, the one that is still in production right now, but we're just got a sneak peek for it with the dev right now. By the way, all the suggestions that I'm like writing with will have your name and that's perfect.
Oh yeah, yep. So like usually when we do implement something on our Steam updates and our Discord updates, we'll list the player who kind of made the suggestion.
Okay.
Kind of give them like a note, like, hey, like, thank you so much for suggesting something. Like, give them some credit. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's cool. How much stone do I need to upgrade? Not enough materials. It says 47. Do I not have? I have 47 tool. Oh, I need 100. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, you're making bedrolls, you said?
Yep. So I dropped them right beside the campfire.
What's the difference between a bedroll and having the totem? Like if I die right now and I don't have a bedroll, what's the difference?
So the difference is the bedroll or the bed is a spawn point. The totem is just a claim. It's a claim over the area. So if someone wanted to come into this area to try to build or place something down, they wouldn't be able to.
Okay.
Unless their name was on the totem.
Okay, so when it comes to placing items, so I don't know if it's like, I'm sure it's something like to be worked on later on. Lady, thank you so much for the, sorry about this. Lady, thank you so much for the 20 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. How's it going, Lady? We're showcasing Fractured Veil right now. So this is a new upcoming game. It's a mix of Ark and Rust, the looks of it. Yeah, it's really, really cool, delicious. It features like a lot of different things that, like a lot of different games kind of like all in one. It's nice to kind of see that. So when you're placing a bedroll, for example, you have the green indicator that kind of showcases, okay, this is where you're going to be placing it. One thing might be For certain items, I don't know. This is kind of like whatever. I'm sure you guys can change that other. Is a contrast of like the green. Like so, if you look, the contrast of the green it seems to be like I don't know if it's is that just because the lighting in the room that it looks like that because you have like the red that kind of contrasts almost
Hmm.
with the flooring. That's one thing. But I was gonna say when you go to place an item, so for example, these chests, right?
Hmm.
Is there a way to have it where, if aligned next to each other, they kind of align in like more of a straighter? Because most games, well, not most games, but some games that I've had, if you kind of rotate your middle mouse button or something like that, you do have it where it rotates, but it rotates more in like a smooth kind of transition. So then that way you can kind of easy, place them down a little bit easier, kind of thing. So they're a little bit more straighter than that, or not that that really matters, but sometimes I mean it can be. I know a few people that would be like, oh my gosh, it bothers me so much that these chests are not that straight.
Yeah, I mean, if you give me some like games that have a good example of kind of like a angle snap
Yeah.
that kind of base go off like the adjacent piece, I can
Okay.
definitely take a look at that and make that suggestion.
The one game
Because,
that I'm talking about is actually Raft. But
hmm
the one thing that bothers me with Raft is that you can angle it whatever you want. So you rotate your middle mouse button, and then you rotate it all the way you want, whatever way you want. It doesn't really matter. But it would be nice if you have the option to auto like align chests. So for me,
hmm
like I'm like a big. I mean, I obviously people OCD kind of style, right? I don't have it, but I mean I definitely feel like I do sometimes when I'm playing games like DST and stuff like that, especially. And it's nice to just, if you put a chest against the wall, to have them, you know, kind of look nice and neat. I know some people don't care about that, but some people might, I guess. That's just my like take from it. But the rotating thing is more important the actual than the actual
hmm
alignment of the chest. It doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we'll definitely take a look at because we want to kind of introduce the really good quality of life changes that a lot of
Hmm.
these games already have. So any suggestions for stuff like that is definitely super helpful to us.
Oh, that's what the game was. It was Valheim. It has auto snap. So Valheim is, I think, is auto snap. Yeah. So you can turn it. I think you can enable or disable it though. But yeah, auto snap feature allows us, so when you're placing chests next to each other, they're automatically aligned right away. So that's kind of basically like, might be a feature that, like I said, you can add later on. Okay. So we got the bedroll. E to alter bedroll. Spawn name. Oh, okay. So you can name your spawn.
Mhm.
Home.
And we are adding the ability to actually pick it up, so that'll be coming soon as well.
Okay.
So I'm thinking to start the siege, I'll craft us some bows, maybe just like a pistol, kind of like, because it is a little basic wave, and then we'll kind of move up from there.
Okay.
Um, because it is already 6 o'clock, and we can continue to play. I just want to kind of streamline the
Sure.
process of what we're doing. Yep. Also, while you're in the crafting bench, if you look to the left of the label, there's a icon that you can click that'll change the view type. It should be a
Oh yeah, yeah,
yellow
yeah.
or
Okay, I
orange.
see it.
Yep.
Yeah. So that actually kind of like alter. I like the default that you have for the crafting bench though. I do like that. That's really cool. So I see smelter, which we've already made. Oh, you're making guns. How are you making guns? Oh, are they under just?
So I have them learned.
Oh, okay.
So what you would need to do is, so you know the Rye currency that you've received earlier, right?
Yep.
While you're
Yep.
finishing quests, and if you kill mutants, you can get that as well.
Okay.
But also while you're harvesting, there's a resource called 127. You get that from harvesting, killing mutants, looting specific loot containers in the dungeon, stuff like that. You bring that to the Thorcon place where we spawned. At the main floor, there's a 127 converter, and what that'll do is it'll change that into a resource, which is basically energy, and energy is used to research stuff, but also to be put into your totem to actually provide like a shield depending on your totem's level.
Okay.
So I will actually, so I'll give you that gun, and I'm going to give you the stuff just to show you what the researching process is like. I'll craft one too.
So okay. So we take the 127. Whereabouts would that be found?
So the 127 itself is something that you loot from both monsters and have a chance to loot while you're harvesting resources. So you take the 127 to, the place where we spawned. We spawned on the top floor. We go to the bottom floor. In the center of that room, there will be a 127 converter. You put that in the inventory. It'll take 127 and 10 rye and convert it into 10 energy.
Okay. And then from the energy, that's where you're able to craft learn blueprints and whatnot.
Yep, and the energy is bound to your character.
So
it's not something you'll lose.
So where I guess as we craft a canteen and go on, will it tell you, okay, it's time to go find energy or find 127?
Yeah, I think there should be a quest that you have to gather a certain amount of it. So it will run you through the process to where you can actually see it.
Okay. Yeah, because there's just to make sure that there's an indicator on how to actually get that in case people are confused on that. That's cool. All right. So how far does the tool the tips go? Does it go to the end of you crafting things in metal and whatnot after that, or does it eventually stop?
So it is a fairly new quest system that we implemented. I believe it gets to the point where you upgrade your totem, which does require you to have already gotten 127 and converted it into energy.
Okay.
Because if you notice downstairs, when you go into the inventory of the totem, it'll tell you what the daily upkeep is, but also the requirements to upgrade.
Oh, okay. So it requires 5 energy. Okay.
And depending on the requirements of the totem, or the tier of your totem, you'll increase in inventory slots to allow you to put more resources into the totem. And then once you get, I think it's the 3rd tier of the totem, you'll get a buff to the surrounding construction pieces as long as you have a certain amount of energy within your totem.
Okay. Sky, you're asking when we're going to be starting to stream D&D again. So D&D is unfortunately on hold as of right now. We've been we haven't been able to do another episode past our, I don't even know how many episodes we had. 60. So we're almost we're kind of, like I said, we're on a big standstill right now for that. Okay, so I'm gonna bring my canteen. The one thing I was actually gonna ask was, so when I'm in a chest, or sorry, when I press tab and I have my hotbar and I press control and I click on a coconut, that drops it on the ground. But what about if I want to shove it from my hotbar to my inventory? Is there not a quick switch for that? Hold shift or something?
Unfortunately not, you just need to click and drag.
Okay. So that would be kind of cool, maybe a hold shift and then boom, it just automatically goes over. That'd be kind of interesting. Or a double click or whatever, just something like that.
Or even just have the right click transfer it into your inventory first instead of dropping it.
Yeah, for sure. Or double click, yeah. Double click would be okay. I think holding shift would be easier, because especially if you're trying to clear out your entire inventory, it's a fast way of doing it. But I mean, whichever. Like I said, you guys can decide all that stuff for sure. But okay, that's awesome for sure. Powder Creek, thank you so much for thank you so much for the awesome follow. Thank you for the gift of subs as well too. The Chief Moose and Rasam, welcome to the Funhouse. Enjoy your emotes. Thank you. All right, so now if we so yeah, so that was one. That's kind of one thing that I want to suggest. That's cool. Now the burn time for the wood, I'm assuming that just continuously goes on until the wood is dead, that, just how it normally is.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna leave some on there just because. What's the average burn time? Oh, of the total burn time? Because it says burn time for one piece. Is there a burn time for total? Oh, I guess it's not. That's okay. It doesn't really matter about that. That doesn't matter. Hearing that song is totally worth it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that has been.
That was one of the suggestions, as well as having certain things to kind of indicate that more within that UI screen.
Yeah,
I believe that's in the suggestions channel, because it does make it a lot easier when a lot more stuff is listed. But it's something we'll definitely be taking a look at.
Delish, thank you for sending some food.
God, UNOOB.
Thank you, Delish. Poor Brandon, yeah. Fernando says, hold on one second. Fractured Veil, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the gift of sub to Strong Claw. Thank you, thank you. Fernando says, can you tell Brandon that he'll have a lot of work to read all suggestions made here? Yeah. So the one thing,
I mean, the
sorry.
nice thing about this is like this is what I like about these streams is
Yeah.
it gets a lot of ideas flowing and it gets things that we might not even have just even thought of yet.
For sure.
And it's important to have that kind of like reference. So it's like it's not just me looking at it, Ryan's looking at it, even Fernando's looking at it, and it's like we're all taking a look at it and kind of bringing stuff up and be like, hey, you know, this would be once it gets to a point where something like that would be implemented, there's that reference there, and you could be like, hey, like let's give this guy credit, let's give this Discord user credit, and it ends up in multiple places. So it's like the recognition on what their contribution has is like kind of important to us.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, thank you for the cheers, by the way, Kawhi. Ooh, hype train, let's go. This is one of those things where, yeah, if you ever, like, I mean, I don't know if you ever offer it more than once, but I'm not like trying to say like put you on the spot and say, oh yeah, come on, let's do this. But if this runs, because I feel like I mean, for me, I've been enjoying the game plus enjoying the suggestions. Lady, thank you for the cheer that like we're kind of coming up with along the way. But if you ever decide like, hey, there's an open spot to do another stream and we can showcase it again and kind of like further on, like especially if we don't go that as far as you thought we would get kind of thing, I'm down to keep going and offer more suggestions as well too. Not that I would have as many of that I had already. But
yeah, I mean, we're constantly upgrading the game, and it's something we're always something that there's always something new, and it's like a good example is for today where you're like, oh, should we do X amount of time or like an hour? And it's like hours really doesn't show as much as that we have already in. I think some people thought we might have less, but we could definitely go a lot longer than what we're doing today.
Yeah, for sure.
We can kind of revisit stuff as more updates get pushed in, because as like the whole Kickstarter thing is happening, we're actually still releasing updates and fixing stuff, and it's something that we'll definitely be able to revisit and experience something new each time.
Because it's nice to like, I mean, I would hate to just be like, okay, you know, like we're, you know, here and then we just kind of ended and then I don't actually get to experience more and then give you more tips on that if I could, I guess, right? But it's nice to, I think one thing that I really, really like is being able to kind of interact with, you know, the developer while the game is like kind of being implemented. So that way you can be like, hey, like, you know, this is something that we kind of thought of kind of thing along the way and kind of, you know, helped like kind of get put into it. So the one thing, sorry, I guess the one thing I was talking about, the fireplace. Oh, sorry, Fractured. Yeah, Nightbot is like anti-links. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I'll repost that for you. So the one thing that I was saying about the campfire, which would be nice. Like I'm one where if I walk into a room and like a nice campfire is on, it's kind of nice and soothing. But I noticed that the burning time is very quick. Not that it matters. Like the burning time's fine, but that's why I was asking about like a total burn time. So, you know, that would be kind of something that I think that would be really cool, because I for one like the atmosphere of like a. Are you guys? Oh, wait, I guess my question is, instead of a campfire, is there ever going to be like a wall fire or something like that, or more of like a decorative piece?
That would definitely be a good question for Ryan, who's in the chat as Fractured Veil.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like the fire pit looks awesome, but I mean it looks better lit up, right? So I didn't know if there was an option to leave it on without smelting, maybe, or something. I don't know. Maybe that's just me that thinks that. But hey, Carol, how's it going? Okay, sorry. We've upgraded from wood to stone, and then now we have a gun. So in order to, if we go up to the totem, I noticed that there's a thing called siege ×1. Do you have to put energy to create a siege in your base? Or what does this say? Because it says siege ×1. Oh wait, I just pressed it.
Oh, did you click that?
I did, yeah. Okay. Does that mean a siege is about to happen?
Yes. Okay, let me craft you. Okay, go into the crafting bench and I'll get you a bunch of ammo.
Okay, I have some ammo right now. Ooh, there's like spooky music. I like that. Sorry, Trav did it on purpose. No, I didn't. I swear didn't know what I was doing. With all misclicks. Oh, here they come. I can hear them. Should we open the front door? Maybe it's somebody that wants to come in here and live with us. Oh, so there's oops, I didn't mean to jump off the building. So not only do they attack you, do they attack? It looks like they attack your structures as well too.
Yep.
Nice. That's really cool.
So I am going to adjust the time of day just because it's really difficult to see stuff right now.
What is?
If you don't mind.
Sure, that's fine. So I have left leg bleeding, right leg bleeding, broken leg, bleeding torso, urine. Oh, okay. Press Y to respawn now, or N to dismiss the message and wait it out. So if I wait it out, does that mean that I will eventually come back up, or is it not possible?
If I revive you.
Okay, I'm gonna press N. I'm gonna wait for the revive. Can I still shoot while I'm down? I guess you can. Just very hard to see. Thank you, thank you. So what's the average loot? Like, are you able to find, like, really good loot from the mutants and stuff? Or is it pretty basic as time goes on? It gets, like,
So
better.
mainly right now it is the Rye, the currency, which is used for a majority of the stuff in the game. There might be plans in the future to make different sieges and different difficulties a lot more of it, or also there is the 127, the chance to get 127 while you're looting them as well.
Okay. Then I'm assuming I pick up my loot. Is there a loot all button for your inventory or no?
So you should be able to hold the F key or the interact key while you're looking at your body. Right now, currently though, you need to pick up the backpack before you're able to loot it all.
Right.
It does add the slots.
I just got hit again. You need to use medkits. Are medkits extremely hard to craft?
So it's not so much that they're not easy to craft. You have to find them in order to research them first.
Okay.
So we'd have to go into different areas of the map to loot them first before we're able to craft them.
Okay.
So you'd be stuck using bandages until that point.
This is really cool. You guys, you have like mutants or whatnot that are actually like distance, like they're attacking you from a distance. I really like that. It's really cool. Is that gas? Red gas? Or is that spawning? Is that for like a spawner for other mutants to go and attack that area?
So that is the siege indicator to kind of let you know that there's an active siege. When it's red or orange, or like the color of it indicates the difficulty, and when it goes away, that means the wave is over.
Okay. Sorry, no, I mean like you have mutants that throw like a green gas at the building.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so that is poison. So if you actually go inside of the clouds, you'll start to take toxicity. Your toxicity levels will increase.
Okay. Why did you grab your gun that was inside the chest? I didn't know I had enough ammo. I like how fast the base is getting destroyed from. It sounds odd, right? Like it sounds like, oh, why would you be happy about that? But it's kind of nice because, you know, I'm saying like a lot of games, what ends up happening, like I said, is you have a base that just is so protected that, you know, there's nothing.
Like no threat.
Yeah, there's no threat. You're just standing there like, oh, look, our whole base is like completely, you know, protected forever. I can stand here and be AFK kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's really nice to see like get destroyed pretty easily. And at a distance too, like mutants that I want to keep saying zombies. Mutants that that attack from afar is really, really interesting because it forces you to obviously go out and kill them, right? So it's really cool about that. I like that.
Yeah. Also, you'll notice is like those are the exact mutants you need to actually like take out really quickly is the range ones, because those are the ones that do a good chunk of damage to your base. And then you have the mutants with the butchers that have the cleavers. Those ones you actually have to take out as well, because they'll go into melee range of the construction piece and they will do quick work
Right.
of construction pieces as well.
Cool. I also like the hold E where you actually don't even have to like open up the inventory of yourself and just hold E in order to pick up stuff. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Also, because it was like a surprise siege, we didn't have like barricades. We didn't have any others like walls to kind of hold them in. We kind of just had like the basic, you know, like stuff going, right?
Yeah. I also was kind of curious as well too. Indicators of previously unlooted or looted bodies. Is that something that you guys want to have, or not something that you want to have? I guess it's probably
Well,
not a good
yeah.
idea because you kind of don't want to have that. Kind of want to have like the mystery of like, is this body looted or is it not looted?
Yeah. Um, that is a good point. I think, yeah, I would probably lean towards not having it just because,
Yeah.
especially in like a PvP area, it's like you kind of want people to risk it.
Yeah, exactly. Because like it would be too much like, oh, there's one over there that's not loaded or something like that. Are you when your game gets released? Are you guys allowing like mods from the Steam Workshop to be implemented at all, or is that kind of like a later on situation down the road?
So I believe the situation with mods is because kind of how like the server architecture of our game works is it's difficult. It's going to be difficult for us to actually allow players to mod certain things. I think we're going with like the Rust route where it's like cosmetics.
Oh, okay.
So
Ooh,
people will be able
nice.
to do their own kind of skins and
So
submit those, and then we'd have those in the game.
so one thing that I don't know if like this has nothing to do with like suggestion. Well, I guess it is suggestion. Is a lot of games implement drop systems for their games, right? So they have, get yourself a free drop, blah 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 blah, blah kind of thing. Are you guys doing more of like a pay for skins kind of thing, or are you offering like anybody can have like drop like whatever skins they want in the game as long as it's put into like a situation? Because like right now, for example, certain games offer drops, like what I'm sure on
Hmm.
Twitch, you watch and then everybody in that watches the stream or whatever after a few hours gets that in-game drop. Is that kind of something that you're looking into as well too?
So since we still are early on in the point, it is something that we are going to be looking into. It's just there hasn't been any decisions made on
Okay.
anything like that, but we're definitely looking at all the options.
That does help like really boost not only the game but like, just like anybody that showcases your game as well too, gets like a lot of people
Hmm.
in chat and stuff. It's a huge way of, I mean, in my opinion, like most games should do it. I think that if they're offering game like skins in game, I think it's a good option. But
Hmm.
if you're not offering skins, then it's not really beneficial like in any way, kind of.
I mean, considering that that is kind of like the route we're going with wanting to add cosmetic choices and stuff like that, where community members can actually get involved and create stuff too, I think it is something that would be beneficial, but it's something that we have to take a look at and see whether or not that works for us. But um, I like it. I like when it comes to that stuff. I feel like it does drive people to play the game. It does kind of promote people being on at a certain time and actually tuning into specific streamers that they like. So
Yeah, yeah. It's just it's. I find like drop systems are really nice to. I was curious when you're holding the torch, how come why does your character hold it over top of his head like in a angled view? Is that just like how it is to so it doesn't take up so much real estate kind of thing, or is it just like an alternate view for the torch?
so it's just mainly like how the animation that we have
Okay,
implemented is.
that's actually looks. It looks. I think it's because when you're third person, first person. That's how you hold
Mhm.
in a Rust as well too. Okay, so yeah, sorry. Going back to the drop thing, yeah, I feel like I do think it's a. I mean, coming from a streamer standpoint, it does make a huge difference in like a game like early on, especially because people see drops and they're like, "Ooh, free stuff," and then they pool in, they just go crazy for them, right? So it just, I think it makes a huge boost in the. I think it just kind of helps advertise your game more than anything else,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
If you ever have any questions on like stuff like that as well too, like because like I mean I obviously do it in certain games that I play and like drops work really really well. I mean they help me like more than anything else as a streamer. So if you ever have any questions like about what do you think, what do you think about this as a drop or system or blah blah blah, blah, just always ask. I mean I'm down to answer any questions for sure too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're open to having as many discussions as we can with streamers to kind of get a good feel of what their kind of content is and how our game can kind of work for them. Especially
Yeah.
since like we're very community driven, so it's like we rely on a lot of these suggestions to kind of um, get the chance to be kind of showcased. And
Hmm.
when you're working with content creators and streamers, it's like you're getting a point of view that you don't typically get.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's crucial to get these opinions early on, in my opinion.
The one thing I noticed when you are over a body was I can't. There's no bodies right now, anyways, that are not burned, except for maybe this one. Is there an option to burn the body without looting it, or no? It's basically you have to loot the body first and then you can burn it Looks like, I guess that's actually how it is. Yeah.
So before we had it, so it actually, that was a recent change. Before we had it where you actually, if you had the torch, you'd burn it first, so you'd lose the currency.
Okay.
People didn't like that, so we changed it.
Okay.
But it's definitely something that it's like a personal preference. Personally, I loot and then equipped. But
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's just like one of these things. Like say this is, I have 4,000 hours in the game or something, and my base is just riddled with with mutants, and then I have like a bunch of currency that I don't even care about, and then I guess at that point there might be different loot that I might need to keep, and then at that point I'm just like, you know what, I don't care about this currency. Let's just go ahead and burn the bodies instead of looting them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Might be because like I think it's one of those things where, so I guess if people have torches in their hand, so before the update, you had a torch in your hand, you walk up and you would automatically light the body on fire. People did not like that if they had a torch in their hand.
So yeah, so there is the option where you can just run up and actually just smack it twice in order to ignite it, just by hitting it with the left click instead of holding F, which actually takes longer. So there is the option for that there, but people were saying that they didn't like the fact that when you had it equipped, because if it was nighttime and you're trying to loot something and it just goes up in flames and you lose the loot, it wasn't a good system to them.
Okay. I'm just kind of curious about that. So there's one thing that's kind of not game related, but you might want, there's something that you could potentially look into, which I found it only ever happened in one game. I forget what the name of what game it was, but if you look at OBS, if you look at my stream, like my camera, and while you're not moving and I'm moving my hands, for example, my camera and like the stream's not stuttering, but then as you move in the game and then you also move now I'm beginning to like move my arm, it's very like stuttery. That usually happens when a game is either like losing frames outside of the actual like picture, and it's the only game that ever happened in, and I don't remember the name of it. It doesn't happen in any other game, but it so I can't really say like what the fix is. Usually the fix for that is changing your graphics to like from windowed full screen back to full screen mode. So I'll try that right now just to see if that makes any difference. And then I'm moving my hand again and it doesn't happen. So windowed full screen windowed might not actually, like, it might be okay for now, but there also could be an issue with that. I don't remember the game that happens in, but it does look like it's a windowed full screen thing versus a full screen will definitely fix that problem. And that's more of like just like leaking frames. It happens in OBS exclusively, probably in Streamlabs OBS as well too. So just from a streamer standpoint, it might be something to just like, you could always just test it yourself, just run OBS and say, you know, have all that.
That'll definitely be, thank you for that, because I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it does. It happens. Like, I really wish I remembered the game. I don't remember it at all. It might have been PUBG. I don't know. I think it could have been actually PUBG actually when it happened. It was so long ago when it happened. It doesn't happen in very many games anymore, but
see, PUBG is made in the same engine.
That's so what I was gonna say. Like, it looks like the similar graphics. So it's possible that, you know, if it's that, then it makes perfect sense why it's happening. And that was a fix for PUBG, is just go full screen, don't go. But most streamers enjoy windowed full screen windowed, like, you know, Windows full screen, because at that point you don't have to tab out when the game's open, because when you tab out in full screen, the game shuts down and you generally lose feed for a few seconds, where if it's windowed full screen, then that doesn't happen. Also, I like this. Is this like a scrap out, like upgrade outside?
Yep, so this is the iron tier, so this is the maximum tier that we currently have in game. I'm just getting this place kind of like going a little bit so we can do another siege, but like with a little bit more difficulty. Okay.
I'll make sure not to press it real fast. Oh, there's this sham. There's the sham ham thing. I see like all that stuff. That's cool. So for your Garry's Mod has that issue as well too, if not mistaken. I've never tried Garry's Mod before, so I can't really say for sure, but yeah, it sounds like something Garry's Mod would have. Dave Ice. This is really cool. I like how the man. I really like the It sounds weird, but I like the art that you used. Kind of. It's really nice. And I also noticed like it's like if we look on this door, above this door there's something, above this door there's not. Is it randomized what is where for the aesthetics for like the lay and stuff like that over top of the doors? Does it like go one and then like say if I had a row of 10 doors or something, would it be consistent like a lay, no lay, 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 like kind of thing, or how does it work for that?
So it is consistent unless you have the outside of the door frame facing the wrong way.
Okay.
So the inside, there's like inside walls, outside walls type thing, where
Okay.
you'll notice it actually more with the stone. I'll come down to you and show you real quick.
Because I do like that, how it would be consistent, because then obviously at that point, like I said, people with, people that are very OCD, they're like, okay, I definitely have to have it where it's consistent. Like that's going to be perfect. I like that. Is there also a ping on the server that you're on? So like the one that we're connected to right now, is there a way to find out your ping?
I don't think there's a command to do it within
That's okay. Yeah,
Unreal,
no.
but there's no built-in one. That's something we can definitely look into implementing though.
So what happens on the server with like on launch day when you have one server that's maxed at 500? Are you planning on having multiple servers? Like, I guess are you guys planning on having like multiple servers with different things, kind of like in different areas, or how's that going to work? I guess like
So
it's like sorry, because before I do lose my train of thought, like for example, I'm on a server and I spend 500 hours in the server, and then before I know it, you're like the game becomes very popular, and now the server that I'm playing on, which originally hosted like all the original people, is now packed full and packed to like the 500, and now there's only like there's a queue time in order to get in and whatnot. And then in order for me to get in, I have to basically wait a little bit to get in. So now I'm kind of forced to go to a different server that's not so populated. What is kind of like stopping people from being limited to getting back in the server once it's full, if that's even possible? I know people, if 500 is a large number, so chances are there won't be 500 actively on the server 24/7. Chances are somebody will leave and another person can join in. But like, what is the possibility of like kind of something like that happening?
I mean, that's something we'll actively have to take a look at once that starts happening. Like once we go to implement that system, because right now it's just we only have, since it's closed testing, we only have one dedicated server for what's going on right now.
Right.
But as the Kickstarter happens and we start letting people in certain waves, and we bring on more servers, that's something we'll be actively looking at. But we won't, when it comes to those waves, we won't be bringing in more people than there is space for the server.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of what I was thinking, is that like